What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to Park to Prem, episode number 51. This today is the start of season number 7. I don't know how this is season 7 already, but here we are. I started playing this save game on the 1st of January. It's mid-February, and I've just been playing and absolutely loving it. You guys have been loving it as well. It's really been just a really fun time so far here at Towlaw. Anyway, today we start on the profile of Rodri, who is a player who lots and lots of people have been asking about. Where is he? What's he got up to? Of course, he was a big sale a couple of years ago now. The answer is he went to Charlton as part of a player exchange and played awfully for them in the Championship, and now he's in their under-23s. Maybe one day we will be reunited with him, but that won't be today. No, I'm not that interested in re-signing him, at least not right now. Of course, last episode was the huge playoff final game. Final warning, go watch it. If you didn't, well, I'm going to show you where we are, because today we kick off our League 2 campaign, and this, our first season in the Football League, is going to be very, very interesting. Our board expectation is to avoid a relegation battle, but the media right now, they are loving us. 7th place prediction. The club value has shot up from a couple of £100,000 to in excess of £1 million. I feel like that is a sign of the progress that we are making. And as may be evident by a few new faces and a new formation, and a new kit. Yes, I did the kits as well. Things are changing here at Towlaw. We are ditching the 4-4-2, at least to start the season. I want to try something a little bit different. We have Liam Coyle here. We'll talk about him first. He's one of a number of new signings to start the year. A player who I've had lots of very good experiences with in Football Manager. A very nice player who can play right back, but where he's going to be playing for us is in the midfield as a ball-winning midfielder. One thing that we've never really had as part of our 4-4-2 is a out-and-out defensive rock in the centre of the midfield. With this changing system now, I feel like that kind of player is necessary, and Liam ticks a lot of those boxes. We signed him from Doncaster on a free transfer. Never really shone for them, although was part of a promotion campaign. We will hope that he can lead us to a promotion campaign. And well, let's talk about the rest of the transfers, shall we? So, on the outs, let's talk about the outs first. A number of outs of kind of players of old. A few familiar faces here, I'm sure, leaving us on free transfers. Lucas Dunstan, the only sale of real note. He went to Ebbsfleet United, who play in League One. They signed him off us for £60,000, which, for a player who doesn't really like big matches, in fact, he hates them, isn't particularly consistent, and, I don't know, I always felt like we could do better than him. I feel like it's some quite nice money, and we have already signed a direct replacement for him. A few players like Andre Brooks, Josh Harrison and Romario Vieira left us on free transfers, I guess reminders of years gone by. And then a number of loanings out, and these players who I've loaned out are generally young prospects or younger players who I don't think are going to feature regularly in the first team this year, but definitely need development time because they are still young. So Steve Tisdale's gone on loan to Dagenham. He had a successful loan spell last year at Kirsten Ashton. Joe Hans has also gone to Dagenham. They are paying for all of his wages, so we get the benefit of the fact that we have still got Smolyo now. If we were forced to sell him, Joe Hans, we could recall and play, but we're not having to worry about his wages this year, which is quite nice. Steve Chapman has gone to Maidstone. A good little left back at 20 years old, some potential to fulfil, was never going to get regular first team for us. And also Ryan Barr, perhaps the largest profile of these players. He's joined a Newport County side who got relegated down to the National League regional divisions last year. Interested to see how he performs at that level, because in the National North for us, he did very good things. We'll hope that Newport County, who are paying for all of his wages, enable him to continue that success that he had at that level before. And age 20, with some potential, he just wasn't going to play for us this year. So on the outs, kind of transfers that made sense. Our under-23s didn't enter a reserve league this year, so as a result, the players who needed first-team football, who I couldn't really give it to them in the first team, and they were too old for the under-18s who are in a competitive league this year, we did look to loan out, and there are still a few more of those going on. On the ins, though, exciting, interesting stuff. The first player we signed, Paul Embleton from Barnsley. I really like this guy at centre-back. We've had an issue at centre-back for a few years now. I'm hoping that this guy is a short-term solution. He's very versatile, can play right-back and left-back, fairly professional personality, consistent performer. You can see here, currently operating at a League 2 level, potential to be a championship defender in the future. And considering we're paying £850 a week, I feel like he represents quite good value. I've not made too many loan signings during our time here at Towlaw, but there was just a general lack of really good, top-quality centre-backs available to us, and this guy jumped off the page as the one to get. So, big expectations on the 19-year-old, but I'm hopeful he's going to do the business. And you can see as we look through these transfers, a number of other Championship players joining us. We have here, oh gosh, Tim Irogibunan. I'm going to call you Timmy. That's Timmy. There's going to be a few nicknames, I think, today, but little Timmy here. Is he little? No, he's got 11 jumping reach. He's a very good player, though. Can play at centre mid. Formerly of West Brom, capped for Nigeria's under-20 side. Don't really like his lack of dribbling and first touch. That makes me feel like he'll never really be a good centre attacking mid. But he's got good passing, got good vision, and exceptional physicals. So I think he could be a really good kind of impact sub for us. The next player we have, another player who I'm going to nickname, is Devon Gay Rocher. Let's be honest, Rush. He should just be called Rush, shouldn't he? Devon Gay Rush. I mean, the Welsh players and Rush, it goes hand in hand, right? But he's a fantastic right back. 23 years old, was released by who was he released by? Swansea. He did have a number of loan spells, including last year a short spell at Salford that wasn't particularly successful at this level. But I feel like when you look at him as a wing back on attack, he doesn't really have a gap in his game. Every single attribute is above a 9 or above. So for this level, good, 23 years old. He is on quite a lot of money, but he's committed a long-term contract. And as a direct kind of comparison to a Dunstan, I feel like he's undeniably a quite nice upgrade that we've managed to get in on a free transfer. I'll let you guys be the judge, but for me, I think he ticks a hell of a lot of boxes. Anyway, the next player we have, a player I'm very excited about, but he's not going to play today because he fractured his arm during pre-season. We have here Tierno Ballo, a player signed from Sheffield United, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, he was. A free transfer. Last year, he spent the second half of the season on loan at Morecambe in League 2 and got a goal every other game from midfield, which is very, very exciting. Very interested to see how this guy performs. I think for a lot of this season, he's going to play as a centre attacking mid, but he does lack just a little bit of passing that I would love him to have in that area of the pitch. But very versatile, can play a real variety of positions, exceptional physicals, established at this level, and a free transfer. And I've continued to wheel and deal with the free transfers, and that, I guess, becomes evident when you look through the dealings here. Sean Mcallister's also joined us. More strength and depth in the wide areas. I think in reality last year, when you look across our team, we had Stephen with a P, Lindsey and Barr. They were three attacking midfielders in the wide areas who really weren't up to snuff. In the end, it was DKM kind of hard carrying the team for a lot of the year. So Sean Mcallister joins us from Everton. Plays out on the right, is right-footed, but he's actually quite well suited to play as an inside forward, which is where I think he's going to play a lot this year. But great acceleration, good agility and pace. And as a player who will probably be on the bench most of the time this year, I really like the fact he can play anywhere down the right-hand side and as a striker. So yeah, 22 years old, has never played a senior game in his career. Hopefully we are going to be able to aid in his development. I'll get my words out eventually. And help him realise his potential. We've talked about Liam Coyle, but new vice-captain, exceptional mentals, fantastic defensive ability. I do not believe our staff who say he's a National League player. I think he's far above that. And as a ball-winning midfielder on support in the centre mid position, I mean, you can see here, very, very well suited to this role. And at 25, still a good few years ahead of him. Anyway, the last player who we signed for cash, and the big transfer, we signed him for £69,000. That isn't like me being funny and making a joke. That is how much Woking wanted for him. What a player Michael Jacobs is here, though. Plays out on the right naturally, is left-footed, and is just crazy, crazy good. Played 115 games for Woking during his time there. Last year got 12 goals and 4 assists. I think he can make this step up. Woking, on the whole, last year were quite a poor side, but he was one of the big standout players. Fantastic vision. I would love his passing to be a little bit better, but you can just see looking at him. For a player who's only just turned 20, he looks very, very good, and I feel like the price we got him for is kind of daylight robbery. Unfortunately, not available for selection for the first game of the year due to injury, so we are lacking a little bit in the attacking midfielder department going into today's game, but I'm excited. And last but not least, just a little bit of backup. Joe Hans going out on loan meant that we needed a new second-choice goalkeeper. We have here Mick Meneman, who is a Northern Irish international, signed on a free transfer from Linfield, where he was playing for them, but his contract was expired. Good determination, kind of nicely rounded goalkeeper. If we need a backup keeper, if Smoljo gets injured, I hope he can do the work for us. Anyway, in terms of tactics, I've already talked about it a little bit. This is how we are going to start the year. We're going to play something that, in terms of positions, is slightly different to last year. However, the actual instructions really aren't that different on the whole. But this is how we line up for today's first game. So there's quite a lot of familiar faces in the 11, but a few of the new transfers making their debuts today. As I said, Smoljo in goal is kind of the player who all our hopes pin on. You can see here lots and lots of teams interested in him, including a few big ones. I've set an asking price of £100,000 because I'm scared that teams will offer a load of money and the chairman will just intervene and accept it immediately. So by having the asking price low, but then having it to reject all offers, which is what this should be on, it just means that hopefully we never have offers accepted above our heads by the chairman and such. But incredible goalkeeper. Hopefully he's going to continue his fantastic development going into this year. At right back, we're going to go with Rush, the new successor to Dunstan. Very excited to see what this guy can do. I've got quite high hopes. Of course, Norris rejoins us at left back from Ipswich. His contract at Ipswich is up at the end of the season. I would love to sign him permanently. Fantastic little player for us, cool kid, excited to see what he can do. I can't believe I've just described him as a cool kid. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, Embleton and Gannon are going to be our centre-back duo to start the year. So if you were going to identify any weakness, at least on the surface, I think it would be the general lack of experience in the defence in terms of centre-backs and goalkeeper. But Embleton and Gannon here, I really like as a duo. I hope they are going to kick it off and really gel. We'll see how they get on. And of course, if they don't gel, we've got options. We've got Ollie Younger still. We've got Deshaun Bernard, who we signed last year. Players who can certainly step up and play at centre-back should we need them to. In the midfield, we're going to go with a deep-line playmaker. And in this case, it's going to be Forster Kasky. And he's going to be playing alongside Coyle. Of course, Forster Kasky, a good bit of experience in a relatively young side, has been very, very critical to our success in the second half of last year. Came up big for us on a few occasions. We'll hope that he can make the step up, and he was a player who we very much signed with the anticipation that he would be League 2 quality. Let's hope he can live up to that billing. Anyway, we go with Coyle at ball-winning midfielder today. Curious to see how he performs. Warrington is going to play in a slightly new position, I guess, for him as a centre attacking mid, as an attacking midfielder. I do feel like as this year goes on, he's going to be more competing with Forster Kasky for the deep line playmaker role. Of course, a few injuries to the new signings who we brought in for the attacking midfield positions. But today gets the nod. New territory, although he is natural at centre attacking mid. We will see how he gets on. DKM, player of the year last year, starts at inverted winger. Superb player, hoping he can step up at League 2 level for us. Mcallister is going to play out on the right as that inside forward. I feel like he's quite well suited to this role. We will find out if he is. If he isn't, we could very easily change things to make him a winger, but I don't really like changing the personalised roles for players too much in systems, because I feel like when you pick your roles, you pick them for how they interact with one another, and the difference between an inside forward, say, and a winger would be quite detrimental on Rush playing at right back in this case. Anyway, up front, we're going to go with Leighton Stewart. Of course, with us going down to a one-striker system, that does mean that Stewart and Mampala are going to be fighting it out for the same position. I am still training Mampala to play out on the left as an inverted winger, just to add an extra string, I guess, to his bow in terms of his ability. We'll see how that works out for him. He will, for the most part, play as a striker. Given how much money he's on per week, I am desperately hoping that he's going to start putting in performances for us. On the bench, a few different options. As I said, Ballo and Jacobs out injured, but do expect to see these two guys immediately into the first team when they are fit. Particularly Jacobs. I've got very, very high hopes for this guy. He has exceptional potential to be a League 1 player. Maybe he could be even better than that, I would like to believe. Currently performing at a League 2 level. But on the bench for today's game, we've got younger Kane Patterson, who's going to operate as that kind of resourceful, versatile fullback option. Johnny Howard, I want to give more game time to this year, the 19-year-old, a player with some quite good potential, may find himself not on the bench when everyone is fully fit, but when he is fit and when we do have injuries, he will play a role. Timmy, of course, a exciting player. I feel like this guy could really be the impact sub that we need from time to time. Very curious to see how he gets on. Has never played a senior game of football, was just stuck in the West Brom Academy. And then we have Shuttleworth and Lindsey. Shuttleworth, I feel like has a bit of a point to prove this year. Last year, it was hard to judge him too much because of just the crazy number of injuries he got. We'll hope that he has put them behind him. And Lindsey, of course, the former Scarbados man, a player who, I mean, is tipped to have a hell of a lot of potential to still fulfill. Last year really didn't impress me when he did play. Won't feature too much in the first team, but with the injuries we have, we are going to call upon him today. So anyway, that's the team. The system itself, as I said, we have changed the personnel in terms of roles, but the overarching philosophy here at the club hasn't changed a great deal. The kind of logic behind the system changes mostly, I feel like we were losing a few midfield battles last year with just the two centre mids and the wider attacking midfielders. I'm hoping by dropping one of the strikers into that pocket of space between opposition defence and attack, it's going to work out quite nicely for us. Anyway, to kick off the season today, we are going to be taking on Burton Albion. They are predicted to finish 9th, so a team predicted to finish somewhere near us. You can see here, looking at the Media Dream 11, not a single one of our players features anywhere near the team. Cameron Prem of Crew is actually ahead of Smolyo, which surprises me, but this guy at 19 years old must be a very incredible goalkeeper. You can see here Smolyo is, of our key players, considered the highest, and then Paul Embleton, who I feel like is a bit of a question mark over him. He could be an incredible defender for us, is a little bit of a punch. You can see played 4 games in the Championship last year for Barnsley, didn't really work out. We'll see how we get on today. You may notice the fact I didn't sign anyone from any of our affiliates. Of course, we have Cardiff City. They just didn't have players that were really fitting our needs. And it's not like we were strapped for cash and needed loans where we weren't going to pay their wages. The reality is that we have a lot of wage budget left over. And as the season goes on, I have no doubt we will continue to look at ways we can strengthen the team. Of course, with us being in League 2 now, there is a squad registration window, so we can't get to mid-November and start signing players on free transfers for the first team. It doesn't work like that. They'll be told they can't play for us. Anyway, big occasion, away from home. Let's see how we get on, shall we? Burton, a team who, of course, in recent years in real life have been as high as the Championship. In this save game, they have been stuck in League 2 for a couple of years. We'll hope that we can do one over on them. But, of course, a few players coming into the team, a little bit of a lack of tactical familiarity, perhaps. It's going to be, I don't want to say a slow start to this season, but I'm almost anticipating a little bit of a struggle to begin things here as we get used to playing at a new level, playing a new system, and just new players. And that's fine. I still believe we can get promoted this year, and obviously the fact the media prediction is 7th means that there is some expectation that we can do good stuff here. At the same time, the rate in which we've climbed up the leagues and obviously quite a high turnover of players this year as a result of an unexpected promotion do mean that we are having to change things quite a lot on the fly. As Mcallister, oh, he could have scored on his debut. He hits the woodwork. Or maybe it hit the side netting, actually. Either way, on his right foot, that's going to be a problem, I feel like. Playing as an inverted forward or an inside forward, but right-footed there, we could expect to see a few smash the woodwork as they smash the woodwork themselves. Burton, from the free kick, they've still yet to hit the target, but that is a little bit of a warning shot in our direction, isn't it? We've moved up to 17th, everyone. Start the party now. Mitchell, their keeper, kicks it forward. Rush, winning the ball really nicely there. Coyle as well. A few players who I'm very curious to see play. Coyle, Embleton and Rush. It's kind of a new little triangle on the right-hand side of the pitch in our own third. We will see how they perform, I guess. Of course, DKM and Norris, they know each other well enough. They've played together for a few years now. Coyle spreads the play superbly. Mcallister, please finish that. Tackled away. Can he get the ball in the mix? He can. DKM's there. Leighton Stewart scores. We are ahead. And I feel like Leighton Stewart didn't actually need to kick that into the goal and may have stolen DKM's goal. But we're not going to complain. It's 1-0 here. And it was all from that pass by Coyle there. Superb ball over the top. Came to Mcallister here. First shot was blocked. Could have very easily complained and just stopped playing. He kept alive. Did well. And, Stewart, I do think, actually got an important touch there. Their keeper may have been able to get his hands to it, if not for the finish. And unless there's going to be a late goal here at the end of the first half, that puts us ahead here. And if there was questions over, is Leighton Stewart starting over Mampala the right decision? I think that's been answered. That was really, really good there. We have got a few players feeling a little bit under the pressure. Mcallister on 6.0 is concerning. Let's make a change there. I'm going to bring in Shuttleworth in the wide area. Warrington at centre attacking mid hasn't played particularly well. So you know what? We're going to give Timmy the game. Can Timmy... I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with Timmy and I can't come up with anything. He's got 4 dribbling, bless him. He's not great at running with the ball, but he has a pass on him. We'll see how he gets on here. 20 minutes left, still only the 1-goal lead. Not a whole lot of highlights, but we're holding on and, well, there's 10 minutes left. They're yet to have a shot on target in this game. And that's got to feel good, hasn't it? Although, I say that. 9 minutes left, ball forward. That's offside, is it? Not, it is. And, well, Callum Bredner, he thought he needed the bread into the back of the net. I don't know where I'm going with this. There's a lot of that today. I'm just very excited, everyone. First year in League 2. We're back in the Football League. We've never been in the Football League. We're not back here. Robson, oh, not like this. How was that? An interesting free kick. We have 1 sub left. What do I want to do? Who do I want to play? Is there anyone who we could give a debut to here? No, in fact, all the players yet to come on are players who were here last year. I'm going to take off Forster Kasky and bring in Howard, the youngster. I'm also just going to change to a positive mentality just to hopefully hold on to possession to see out this game. And we'll look at the time trickle away. Is there a better sight? We have a free kick, or rather a corner, to end the game. Shuttleworth whips it in. Stewart doesn't get there. Coyle almost got a goal on his debut. You can see here 2 clear-cut chances, 5 half chances. They did not have any clear-cut or half chances. They did have a few highlights, but we never really gave them great opportunities. And away from home against Burton Albion, we get our first win ever in the Football League. And it's a winning start, which we will hope can continue. Just one thing that I totally forgot to mention is the fact that in this division, we have to have homegrown players at club. You have to have at least 1 homegrown player at club in the starting 11. Oh, not in the starting 11, in the match squad. We have Leighton Stewart and we have Kumwenda who are homegrown. No one else here is homegrown. To be honest, Kumwenda probably is the second best homegrown player at club. So as a result this year, Kumwenda kind of is probably going to be 4th choice first team striker this year. So if you were concerned about him leaving the first team, he's here by virtue of the fact he kind of has to be here, because if Leighton Stewart gets injured, we need another striker or just another homegrown player at club to bring on. You can see Gannon is due to get homegrown status at club this summer, as is Smolyo. So in a year's time, it won't be quite so much of a problem. And of course, thinking ahead, maybe getting a little carried away here, but thinking ahead to European campaigns, Smolyo would be homegrown at club for European competitions, which would actually be quite useful down the line. But anyway, what a start to the season that is. Very, very happy with that. Please do let me know, folks, what you made of our transfer business this year. I think for me, Michael Jacobs is the player to get most excited about. He can definitely do a job either out on the right-hand side or maybe down the middle as our centre attacking midfielder. And also, I'm quite excited to see Ballo play. He's kind of quite flexible, quite resourceful. I feel like he definitely could cement himself as a first-team regular. And I'm kind of surprised he got released. And I'm excited to see what we can maybe achieve with him. Anyway, I realise I've said excited a lot today. I'm enjoying, you know what? I'm enjoying the save so much right now. It's just so much fun. You guys are loving the series as well. I feel like going into League 2 now, it starts to taste closer, the Premier League, taste closer. It's not far away now. I know that might sound weird to say, but when you start down in the 10th division, you kind of look up and go, yeah, that's a long way away. Suddenly, it feels relevant to keep an eye on the Premier League and everything that's going on in England. And I do feel like with the transfers we've made, we should definitely be in playoff contention come this year. And I guess that's also indicated by the media prediction for the season. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. Let me know what you made of our transfer dealings. What do you think of the system change? Agree, disagree? I always enjoy reading your thoughts down in the comments below. And, well, that is going to be all from me. I'll see you guys next time. With love, with care, it's me, Jack. And I'll see you for episode 52.